Morning to the cutie pie, looking very nice. Good morning to the cutie pie. Tingling, tingling, tingling.
Guys, look how precious he is. And he hasn't even landed a single kick yet. Mwah! He was baffled by that kiss.
He was baffled by the kiss, and I am baffled by the decisions made from a grown-ass man named Morgan Gibbs-White. But how are you doing? Welcome into the channel. Welcome back to whatever platform you might be watching on: YouTube, Twitch, Kick, all that fun stuff. We are everywhere. We're live all over the place. But how are you doing? I played those videos in that specific order because that was us singing "My Heart Will Go On," and Tottenham fans over there getting splashed, thinking they were going to get their picture perfect moment. That dog is Morgan Gibbs-White, and we were saying "Such a cutie boy."
Morning to the cutie pie, looking very nice. Good morning.
Yeah, so that's Morgan Gibbs-White looking at us sing to him, and then Marinac is giving us a good old kiss, and we're the kangaroo. But look, also I played it for a few reasons. You know, we couldn't score today versus Luton, which, if you didn't know, in consecutive years, Luton has gotten relegated. So they're doing an opposite of Wrexham, and we cannot score a goal under them. We played 2 preseason games this morning. I did not see the first one, not even going to lie. I think it started at 3 or 4 a.m. I was asleep. I woke up and I was like, oh, cool, we kick off in an hour for the second one. So then I was going back and kind of like trying to look at the first one. So I'm not going to talk too much about the first match. Obviously a 2-2, Desmond with Wickham, the Wickham Wanderers and Pelicans and shit. But I did watch the next match, which was, how do I put this? A big pile of poo-poo? A big old piece of shit?
You told one of the witnesses who disagreed with you during an interview that you thought Mr. Baldwin was a cocksucker.
I do not recall saying that.
And I don't recall saying that we were going to be cocksuckers today, but unfortunately, you know, it's a little bit of egg on our face as players, as a manager, as a club, even the fans, that we can't score a goal versus a League One side who 2 years ago was in the Premier League. It's kind of crazy. But it's also not the end of the world because, you know, Thomas Frank is, you know, our good old Tommy boy. He's had, what, 2 weeks to train these players because they don't look like they have any sort of system or cohesion or real threat. I just didn't really it was only Mohamed Kudus really that made me feel like we had any threat. Maybe the first game there was some more threats than I was aware of, but I think the cherry on top of the day is the Morgan Gibbs-White news. Obviously, I've got the tweet here from Nottingham Forest Direct. It says a statement of intent from our owner, Evangelos Marinakis, which is fun because when you're announcing that you sign a player, the first thing you should do is mention the owner before you mention said player. I think that speaks highly of your agenda. Says Morgan Gibbs-White signed a record deal at the club until the summer of 2026. And then they posted this cheesy photo. They keep posting photos. I don't know if you've seen some of these photos. They love, look at this. Home is where the heart is. And then a heart with Gibbs-White. Bro, this is why he ain't allowed in London. Let me go ahead and show you this man's trim. That shit look busted up like a motherfucker. Bro looks like a prepubescent nutsack. Talking about we're distraught over Gibbs-White. Nah, they're just trying to stoke the fire a little bit. And I mean, look, there's 3.8 million hits on this tweet. So they're making some money off of talking shit. And they obviously posted this, which is the fraudulent fraudster Morgan Gibbs-Shite, Horgan Gibbs-White. Is that, can we say that? In the description of this video, I did say that he is BBL DRIZZY. Which, if you don't know who that is, BBL DRIZZY, BBL DRIZZY now. And Marinakis is equivalent to the feds, because if you don't agree with him, you don't fall in line with him, he's going to sue your ass. Ask Gary Neville, ask BBC Sports, ask Crystal Palace, ask Tottenham, ask the list goes on. I've pulled it up before and I might have to again, but you know, I think on a day in which you failed to win either of your preseason games, failed to score versus a newly relegated, consecutively relegated side in Luton Town, and then you get the Morgan Gibbs-White news. It's gonna put people into a mood that, how do you say, is not the best, but you know, people are gonna be who they want to be. People are gonna choose to act however they want to act and feel however they want to feel. I would never try and govern that. So, you know, if you want to blow a gasket, go ahead and blow a gasket. If you don't really care. You know, I've taken a step back from my whole let's be harsh on Frank, because you know why? Because I think it's all about the live, laugh, love now. That's what Frank has taught me in this short amount of time. It's about live, laugh, love. It's about maybe. It's about hopefully. It's about potentially. It's not about anything. You don't just go to Burger King and say, let me get a burger. You say, hopefully I can order a burger here today. So that's nice. Again, just feel however you want to feel. Blow a gasket, don't blow a gasket. I just find it fucking hilarious that, you know, we just keep farting in goals in previous tenures, and we can't even score one versus Luton. I'm not that like mad about it. I wouldn't say this has changed how I feel about Tommy at all, because I love Tommy.
If I wanted to blow, I'll fucking blow. You understand me?
You understand me? You understand? Now, real quick, what I do hope happens as a result of this egg on our face, it's very clear that we had a little bit north of 60 million to drop instantaneously on something. Now, if this club wants to act like Tottenham in years past, we'll probably spend half of it on a Timo Werner-esque Dan Juma, or a Clement Longley, if you will, maybe a Ivan Perisic on a free, something like that. Obviously, those are just deals I'm referring to in the past, not ones that we would do now. But you never know. What's a player, you know, Garnacho, I think that he would fit in just perfectly well with his CR7 underwear, his Ellen DeGeneres vibes. I think it'll be fantastic. Who else is out there that, you know, is just looking for some live, laugh, love in their life? We'll find them. But I'm not too pressed about the result. I more find it laughable, the fact that you can't fucking score one fucking goal against a fucking team that gets relegated 2 years in a row. That's a fucking abysmal team. Now, I heard people sympathizing in different group chats talking about, in 2 weeks they'll be they'll be, you know, they're 3 weeks ahead of us in their fitness. Fitness, man, fitness dick in your mouth. How about that? Because I ain't buying into this fitness bullshit. Because all you're trying to do is fitness all this shit inside your little fit agenda, trying to make it all fit, pack it up like a goddamn suitcase. Oh, it's gonna be okay, guys. Just say yes. So I'm just saying yes.
Why?
I don't know, Egal. I just am. All right. But anyway, let me say hello to the chat, and then we'll run through some of the bookmarks that I have here, and I'll get this ugly fucking dusty-ass club off of my screen because they're crusty, more crusty than a crab. How about that? Big up Compost Smurf, first one in the house. Believe a United fan says, come bring me my money, about Garnacho, which I'll be honest, when we start talking Garnacho, it sounds real nice, sounds really appropriate, and it sounds really 2025.
Damn, I'm on my Britney shit. Oops, I hit again. Damn, I'm on my DJ Khaled shit. We the best. Damn, we rolling hella deep. I feel like Adele.
I do feel like Adele. Especially today, you know, it's like we're definitely rolling in the deep. Deep shit, by the way. Andrew Lancaster. Hello, Andrew. Morgan Gibbs-White would have been in legal jeopardy if the transfer happened because he broke the contract by revealing the release amount. He was forced to stay to avoid being sued. Well, assuming this is all true, Marinakis, we all know. Look, I said it the last time I was live. I had Flawless and Hotspur Hippie on, and here, I'll play you the clip. Well, we technically haven't got Gibbs-White. I'm not even convinced he's alive anymore. It feels like the part of the movie where it's Gone Girl, and you're just like, I guess it's been more than 48 hours, and statistically, when it's been more than 48 hours and Gone Girl been missing, she don't come back. Sad story. I think Marinakis took him to Greece and is holding him in the
You'll
Monastiraki,
get
and
it,
they're all
man.
like, I don't
It's
know.
it's it's Embramo and Yokeres all over again. The deal will get done. It's those two deals. This
Why
is
did
just
that
a
deal
similar
for what?
scenario.
So Flawless said it's gonna get done. It's like them other deals, and I'm just wondering. Well, well, well. Well, Mr. Flawless. Guess it ain't just like that because, to my understanding, Sporting wasn't trying to sue Arsenal. And who else did he mention? The Embuemo thing? Yeah, you know, it's a sad state of affairs. You know, I talked about last time I was live about how we went from someone saying I always win in my second year to even after I've completed what I've done here, we might, maybe, hopefully be able to win something. To me, you know, it's just a sign of the times, I suppose, the Morgan Gibbs-White deal. Just a sign of the times. The Thomas Frank engine is the choo-choo train that is struggling chugging. Struggle to chug? Struggling chugging? I'm not sure that is struggle chugging. Struggle. I'm struggling to read this motherfucking comment. But what I will tell you is this.
Just put that to one side. How are you feeling? I'm feeling a bit shitty. I'm feeling a bit shitty. Yeah, good. Like and subscribe. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Glad we're all feeling nice and shitty. Do you remember Kangaroo Jack, Jacob? Of course I remember Kangaroo Jack. I used to own that movie. I watched it religiously. Like I said, kangaroos were my shit. They still are to a degree. Where's that fucking kangaroo? Oh, he's over there on the floor. I gotta go find him. The Frank train has been delayed. You know, I heard the trains in London ain't too great either, so maybe he's just matching the energy. Morgan Gibbs-White and his agent are shifty, using Spurs milk and every penny from Nottingham. This is kind of what I think. Now, this is, again, none of this is what's the word, corroborated. None of this evidence has been corroborated. However, to me, it does seem like he did to us what Arne Slot did to us. He said, I'm going to go over there and see what they're talking about. They said they're going to buy me a nice steak dinner. And watch the club start moving a little bit. And then guess what? Now you get a bigger payday. Which just means I think he'll stay there for one more year, and then maybe a city will sign him at a bigger release clause. And then Marinakis will have plenty of money for the souvlaki and for the spanakopita and for the, you know, just a big ass boat made of feta, and he's gonna get to eat it all up. That's fantastic stuff. Spoopy, big up Spoopy. Spoopy. Free Gibbs White, big up Jacob. Jump on Sheik's Mud Bros panel again, lad. We miss ya. Hey man, I'm always here. I'm just, you know, I'm just like Mickey Van de Veen at a victory parade, bro. I'm chilling. I'm hanging out. Whenever you want, we can get a dance on. Hey, waka waka, hey. Unlucky on MGW, mate. I wouldn't even say unlucky. I would just say we tried to go in there and say, look at us, huh? Talk to me nicely. And basically Gibbs-White said, so I don't know if it's like luck that leads you into a situation that has been amalgamating for 20 plus years, but that's just my estimation. What an F up. Ainge would have convinced him and the Greek owner. Welcome to Frank Ball. I told you Levy is a clueless, gutless twat. Now, what I would say about this is, I didn't say his name. You did. But there was a tweet that, you know what? Let's do that. I wasn't even going to make that a part of it, but it's interesting. It's just a weird thing is going on. A really, really weird thing is going on. And I'm going to skip that tweet there because that one will definitely get me knocked off YouTube. But I tweeted this. I said, look at the replies to this if you think Tottenham fans are nice to each other on this platform. Or ignore it if you already knew an opposing opinion made softies get squishy. And, oh, there's someone replied to it. Oh, Lucan, go live. And I told him I will. Look at that. But basically, this person took that tweet that I was just showing y'all, you know, the one with the big fat motherfucker, Snorlax looking ass motherfucker holding on to Drizzy's ball sack. He said, class, if only we had a manager who made every player want to join the moment he had a conversation with them. And obviously he's talking about, you know, our Greek maestro. And this is the first comment I saw from Josh Smith, says, fuck off with Ainge then. I'm just like, why is this your first comment? Why are you so mad? But then I'm like scrolling through the rest of the comments and it's like, everyone is like, this is true. Dewey said no, but also like Dewey said yes to PSG. Like weird if it's, I mean, that's like asking Honey if she want to ride in the Toyota RAV4 or if she want to ride in the Maybach. All right. Prism over Paris riots or living in Munich. I don't know what that is. I wonder what manager had us in 17th, making nobody want to play for us, says Moonsy. If we weren't 17th in the Premier League, they wouldn't need convincing. They would just join. Hope this helps. What? Oh, yeah, there you go. What blatant waffle? How many times we get denied after top 4? Hope this helps. Because I don't believe and I don't buy this narrative here that says we're 17th. Hee, therefore that's why he doesn't want to, you know, I couldn't help but laugh because I was seeing people say that, you know, how could you expect us to beat a consecutively relegated side in Luton? How could you expect us to score versus them when Ainge lost all these games? It's like, I don't know. Like we broke our leg, we healed, and we're walking again. And it's like, yeah, you know, you could walk a little different, but I feel like blaming your leg break for the reason you're late for work when it was just traffic is like kind of silly in my opinion, because to me, whether it's 1 week or 2 weeks, like I was able to see immediately what Conte was doing, what Jose was doing, what Ainge was doing. Not really with Nuno, with Poch, same thing. Very quickly, you could kind of see what they were trying to do. And at this point, I really haven't seen it. But maybe that's just because I don't know ball like the rest of them. But what I will say is this: what I've seen thus far has been boring as shit. It's been lackluster. It's been, but you know, I can also attribute a lot of that to the understanding of, well, you know, he just got here and he's, you know, just wearing the shoes for the first time. And, you know, when you step into shoes that are too big for your feet, it takes a little adjusting, getting used to. Like, how am I going to expect you to run a marathon when the shoes are a little too big for your feet? So I'm going to be sympathetic and I'm going to be understanding and I'm going to say, it's okay, Tommy boy. You did never, he didn't say we were going to win. He just said, maybe we'll win, but we're for sure going to lose. But, you know, live, laugh, love. And that's the motto. That's what I'm going off of. People were saying that other Spurs fans are angry. They're mad. They're vehement that, oh, we lost. Oh, we didn't actually lose, but, you know, we didn't win. Couldn't score. That's the biggest part. It's not even that we couldn't fucking win. It's that we couldn't fucking score against a side that has been consecutively relegated in consecutive seasons. They're fucking dog shit and we couldn't score on them. They looked our equal and the scoreline showed it. To me, that is abysmal, and that's down to players as well. But I think for the narrative, it's easier and more fun for me if I just say it's all Ainge's fault, or not Ainge's fault. God damn it, Tommy Boy's fault, because you know. It didn't matter that Ainge had Timo Werner, Dominic Solanke, and Brennan Johnson as the, you know, leading front line in the Premier League at one point in the season last year. That doesn't count because it's all Ainge's fault that Christian Romero turned off a few times versus Leicester, versus Brighton, versus Palace. That is Ainge's fault. So, you know, a very inconsequential result. Again, that's why I'm not really too mad about it, because it's like, why would I be mad about a thing that really doesn't matter? I won't get mad about nothing until maybe after the Super Cup or after the Super Cup. To me, I'm just live, laugh, and loving right now, because that's what my manager told me to do. You know, I challenged him. I said, Ainge, I think you're a liar. Ainge, why do you lie when you say you're going to come to Tottenham and win in your second year? That's a lie, because I ain't seen it in my lifetime. I ain't seen it. So I say, I think he's a liar. And guess what? He proved me a liar. So I said with Thomas Frank, okay, I'm just going to believe you. I'm just going to take what you say and I'm going to use it as the book of law. Same thing with Levy, because Levy proved me wrong as well. So Levy said, we're going to win the Premier League and the Champions League. Fuck yeah. Tommy Boy said, don't worry, I'm just here to raise the levels. I'm not trying to win nothing. I'm not trying. We're trying. So it's a little contradictory to what Levy said, but I'm going to say they balance the two out, and we should win at least one of the two aforementioned Champions League or Premier League, because that is what my owners told me. It is. I was in Sava's chat earlier, and one of his mods was saying like, "What do they expect? We're going to win the league?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Levy told me we're winning the league and we're winning the Champions League. I can't recall the last time a billionaire lied to someone like me, who's not a millionaire as well. I ain't seen it. Big up Quez Ali every single time. Big up Logic in the house. Says big up Jacob. Hard to find other Kangaroo Jack aficionados. Well, you know what? You like Toy Story. You've got a friend in me when it comes to kangaroos, because if there's one thing about kangaroos is I will find a clip of them and I will just never delete it.
我想他始终啊，我點啊？我捉我先都啊，我呢度係呢。
Zesty Troop says, are you from Canada? And I would say this. What's that all about? Got your maple syrup? Oi? I can't even remember the last time I heard a real boot and canoodle type accent. But no, I'm not from Canada. I'm from Texas. About as far away from Canada you can get in America. Hope you're well, mate. Now with the Morgan Gibbs-White off the cards, who are we going for? Well, you know, before they just said that, you know, Forrest signed Gibbs-White on a record deal, Paulinho and Harvey Elliott were the names that I was seeing. So one of them, maybe, we'll be all right. Just trusting Frank. That's what I'm saying. The Thomas pull, baby. What is a train good for if not pull? And look at the amount of pull, the torque, the motherfucking horsepower, the motherfucking vroom vroom per gallon. Like, we are just say yes, Milton. I love that. That's a great video. Rodders, big up Donna Colin and Michael Lee. I think I ran through y'all's comments during that video. Says, always give someone 10 games, then you can judge. Well, if we did that based off of Ange Postecoglou's first 10 games, we should have done the quad. But, you know, it is what it is. Tottenham Ranger, Luton are no mugs. We are. No mugs, but they've been relegated 2 years in a row. Just live, laugh, love, guys. We'll be all right. Frank is an analyst, not a visionary, so he needs time and data to work out a game plan. I mean, I did see Cuti Romero coaching him up so he could coach up everybody else. That was fun. It's nice. Oh, here you go. We'll just put that photo up there. Big ass Snorlax motherfucker. Only thing Marinak is put fear. Like, bro, I was on Never a Foul for just like a quick second earlier today, and that Wolfie Nottingham Forest guy joined, and he tried talking shit. Where is it? Let me find it. Because, you know, I was dealing with my kids, so like I couldn't really rebuttal everything he was saying, but he was talking some absolute bonkers, some absolute bonkonian. Let me see. When did he join? There he is. So this is Nottingham Forest basic reaction to us not getting Morgan. Hang on, let me turn the volume down a little bit.
United.
Exactly. Give him someone else that
We've right. Put him in the middle.
Where the fuck are the Spurs fans? I got Jacob here. Big up, Jacob. Where are the other pussies? Where
No, we're not.
No.
Bro showed up in his sunglasses and said, "Where are the other pussies?" That's actually funny, objectively. As you can see my face, I said, "Pussies? Who the fuck you where are the other pussies?" That's an inference that I'm a pussy as well. What the fuck? What's up?
Oh.
You don't get to run it.
Wait.
I am one of the.
Oh, look at my daughter's little chunky hand. This is mayhem.
Glasses so I can talk to your soul.
He can go.
He
just
just
I warned them. I warned them.
Take off those shades so I can talk to your soul. Take off
I
those
can't really see with them. Let me put my glasses on. Go on.
Take off those shades. So
Go on, Jimmy. Talk to me, Jimmy. Talk to me.
Wolfie, the things you said about this man.
Real quick, big up Marco. I love this comment. Fell to my knees in the CC's Pizza parking lot when I heard. I could just picture it. I love CC's. It's been a while since I ain't had the CC's. But I'll be honest, there's only one way that I feel about that fat motherfucker now.
I hope you order Dr. Pepper and they give your ass Coke. Bitch, I hope you eat 2 Popeyes biscuits and you choke. I hope one day you just...
Well, you know what? I see 50 people here. If we have 30 likes, I'll let the second half of that video play. It's a little aggressive, and some might say offensive. But, you know, if we can get to fucking 30 likes or something, with the 54 of y'all here, because I know not everyone's going to like y'all motherfuckers. I know not everybody's going to like the video, because you get 100 people watching and 60 people like the video. But that's okay. I see 15 likes on the video. Y'all are some frauds. All right? What are we doing here? How dare you? How dare you do that? Because I'm going to say this. Well, maybe you don't want the last part of that video. I distracted myself. Marco, that's a fantastic visual.
They all stand.
Nasty.
They all stand.
Wolfie, this is like telling your woman her falafel is terrible. Her baba ganoush is off.
No.
She
This is like your mistress trying to leave you for your brother, man.
No, Wolfie.
That's all.
Wolfie, the things you said about this guy.
He's trying to downplay it. He's trying to do the nonchalant gimmick.
Go to buy food.
Yeah, we'll try.
$8.35. Weird. Fuck you.
Drake, why don't you go to Brentford and get Vissa? That's more your level, bro. Go to Brentford.
Wolfie.
Yeah, we're playing conference next year.
Can I talk to you for a minute, Wolfie?
Legality matters.
Wolfie, hold on, Jacob.
Tell me, you gonna win Europa League? I can't hear
Can
shit.
I talk to his soul for a minute? Listen.
Jimmy had some stuff he really wanted to say.
Why?
Stop with your bullshit, Jimmy. Stop with your bullshit. We didn't even
Big
have
up
to
Destiny.
sue. This is how much of a pussy
I think Australians hate kangaroos.
Jimmy.
Yo,
Show me.
Wolfie.
Show me.
Wolfie.
Show me.
Wolfie,
Show
close
me.
your eyes. Think, Wolfie, put your shades on. If you don't want to close your eyes, put your shades on. You come home from work. You come home from work. You walk into the bathroom. Instead of the toilet, there's a guy there urinating on your wife.
Oh my!
Instead of divorcing
I missed
her,
this.
you
Look, I'm on the
beg her to
phone, so I
stay.
didn't hear this part.
That's what your club
Jimmy,
is.
you got it all wrong, man.
No.
You got it all wrong. What you don't get is Marinakis.
Big up my chrono.
Jimmy, shut up a sec, bro.
Wolfie, you offered him a contract, Wolfie.
You ever breathe, Jimmy? Fucking hell.
Facts.
All right, go ahead.
Bro, what you're not seeing is my guy
Big up
Marinakis
guy.
is the fucking pimp, man. Gibbs,
No, he's not.
Bro, he's I remember how I felt when I heard him say pimp. All I could think of was like when Biggie Smalls said he's a pimp, but Biggie Smalls makes Marinakis look like he on Slim Fast or something. Big up ODK, big up Guy, big up y'all in the chat. Zapur, I see you. Roundtable Talk. Daniel's here. Big up Daniel. 15 days we wasted. And you can't never get that time back, man. You can never get the time back. Wolfie in as much in the mud as we are. Yeah, I think because I was watching his. He did a watch along for their game, and I tuned in for a second just to chat some bullshit in his chat. You know how I like to do. I like to go into chats and talk a little shit. And he was just calling him number 10. He would not call him by his name. And the only player I've ever done that to, I believe, was Bentancur after the racismo charges. So, yeah, I think he's in the mud. He's in denial. He's trying to cope as best he can. I guess I didn't realize with my kids yelling and shit, I guess I didn't realize how hectic and chaotic this show is. Because I can't even hear myself whenever I rebuttal.
Man, he dared to step off his drags him back, puts Gibbs-White back in his place and says, stay the fuck where I told you to stay.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, in the words of a great philosopher, rest in peace, by Mr. DMX, he said, I quote another
I love
quote,
this part, though.
You whack, you twisted, your girl's a hoe, you broke, the kid ain't yours, and everybody know your old homie say you stupid. You be like,
I love my baby mama.
I love my baby mother. I'll never let her go.
I don't love him. I don't love him.
You.
I don't care if he goes and sleeps around with Daps's boys, with fucking Specs' boys, whoever. He does not get to sleep around in that shithole in North London. That fucking shithole, man. The so-called champions of fucking Europe. They have the audacity to call themselves champions of Europe. When Leeds don't even say that about champions of England.
I'm not gonna lie, his energy reminds me of mine after we had just won the Europa League. Yeah. What the fuck? That DMX quote deserves a follow. Hey, come on, Ganja. Gunja 808, big up over there on the Kick. Hit that follow. I think we're up to 12 followers now. You know, the road to 1 million on Kick, we're working on it. But that was a fantastic DMX quote, and the best part is, I love my baby mama, I'll never let her go. That's the best part, I'll be honest. Ah, man. Yeah, he's trying to cook us for a player that he doesn't even want, that he said was like their 6th best player. Now he's got Chess talking about this or that. And Ben, you're absolutely right. Ben, I'm going to, just a warning, if we talk about Frank and turning our players, I'm going to have to pull up Ghost, all right? And specifically the scene involving Clay, where they're touching wrists and Tommy's got no shirt. It's going to be fantastic. Guy Thompson's here, so he's probably going to say, no, don't play that clip from Ghost. But however, Guy is not my boss.
Fucking dickheads, man.
You're crying inside. I hear it.
If I start getting yellows,
Wolfie,
I'm gonna blame you.
You know what's crazy is whenever you go live on your own channel and you be talking in the chat, and I'm like, I give a little friendly jab. You like to ignore that. You just want the fluffy news.
All right, let's get one thing.
But this energy right now, I like it. This is different energy, but it's a little different than what I saw earlier.
All right, first and foremost, let's rewind it. Yeah, let's rewind it. One, this guy lost 2-0. Was freaking by 4 months ago. He's getting the salute. The pick him.
I think my kid fell at this point. Okay, so yeah, so he says something here that makes me come back on cam.
Their transfer window, because they.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, with all the shit you've thrown at my team, yeah. The real deal here is that with all of that,
this guy's a fraud.
Spurs couldn't take my player. With all of that, Spurs couldn't take my player.
That's not a flex. That's not a flex.
Spurs couldn't take my player. Fuck Spurs. Fuck Spurs, man. And I ruined their transfer window because they were getting.
I'm gonna say he did not, because we got Muhammad Kudus, and there's nothing that can happen in this window that can ruin that. Only thing that can make me sad about it is Son leaving, but we've already discussed that in ad nauseum on a bunch of different streams already. So I'm gonna say no, but y'all let me know in the chat if you're live or if you're on playback. Did this, is he right? Did that ruin our transfer window? As far as I understand it, there's still a whole ass window right now. So in theory, we go fucking sign a couple bad boys. We go raid Juve a little bit, get Vlahovic, get Douglas Luiz. Then we go, excuse me, get Xavi Simons. I know he's working with Chelsea, but fuck it. Drop a, you know what they say in The Godfather? He made enough of this I can't refuse. Well, that's what we got to do. So, but again, this is the first warning, Ben Spurs, talking about Tommy's touchings. We're going to have to play the clip. Nottingham Forest were third for about 3 months once, and they think they're bigger than us. That guy's alluded. Well, they did win some Champions Leagues, too, if I'm not mistaken, in like pre-World War I time. So they think that they're relevant. Because I'll be honest, I've always known them as a championship club until recently. So I guess, you know, when you water the grass just a little bit, there's going to be something that pops up out of the soil, you'd assume. Yeah, and hey, you know, they got some weird things going on over there. We could definitely get them shut down. We should at least try. Oh, Jacob, I'm glad I didn't go to Luton. Guy, big up Guy every single time. That's probably why we didn't score, because there was no Guy in the stands. Lynn Simpson, evening, Jacob. Good evening to you, Lynn Simpson. Marinakis needs an Ozempic bender. Bro, Marinakis, bro. I mean, I'm not into the body shaming thing because, you know, they tried to do it to my mans. They said, how could you be this fat and have aura? Hey, that should go hard. That should go real hard. I watch Sava shows. Yes, I do too. A lot of people do. I think he just hit 20K. So big up to Sava for hitting the 20K. You know what's funny? Ben, you and a few other people were kind of assuming he was talking about me when he was talking about YouTubers going mental over the loss or the lack of wins. You were saying that, but he was literally texting me during the show. So I don't know. It's funny because everyone thinks him and I got some kind of beef just because I think a lot of things that he says are incorrect, or he thinks the things I say are incorrect or silly. And I kind of play into the silliness just a little bit because he knows that I know that it, like, he doesn't like it, but when I do it, he kind of does. So that was why I kind of do it anyway. Sun kind of washed though. No. Excuse me? Mo? I thought we were cool. Mo? I thought we were friends. Mo? I thought you had nice hair.
Tyler says his hair is his moneymaker. Whoa. It looks like you're broke.
Mm-hmm. Talk nicely about my motherfucking legend. If anything, it probably made us mad and encouraged to get our ass into gear. Well, kudos. That's the hope, right? That, you know, the Chumbawamba song, you get knocked down, you get back up again. You're never going to keep me down. But unfortunately, if you weigh as much as Flatanakis, if he gets on you, it will keep you down. You say, you're never going to keep me down. He can physically keep you down by just not moving. That fat motherfucker. There's still time. Kudus is encouraging the kid from Japan. There's still some decent rumors. We're still in the game. Yeah, I mean, the window, yeah, it's hard to ruin something that's not completed, right? It's like you ruined the group project. It's not due for another 2-4 weeks. Some shit like that. Into August, right? Or the middle of August, some shit like that. I don't know. I don't keep up with that shit. But I do know that we've got a decent amount of time. I'm not overly pressed. I do think that this is just, yeah, I do laugh a little bit. And it is because the club's doing currently what I expected them to do to Thomas, because they did it to Ainge, they did it to Antonio, they did it to Jose Mourinho, they did it to Nuno, they did it to Poch. And so why wouldn't I believe that they're going to do it to this guy? That's kind of the same thing I always said about Ainge, was like, I don't expect them to back him fully. Him getting Brennan Johnson, you can't convince me out of all the wingers in the world that that's the one he fucking wanted. It was a club thing. A lot of this shit's done by the club. It goes like, I feel like he's more of a passenger. And sure, if you're a passenger in the getaway car of a bank robbery, you are compliant in the guilt of the crime. However, you weren't the dude shooting a gun going, everybody down. So, you know, realistically, I think in regards to the transfers, like, it's not all Thomas's fault. It's the fucking club, and it's been the fucking club. for a long time, as long as I can fucking remember. Wolfie went on Sava and said the same thing. They ruined our transfer window. No, Tottenham ruined their own transfer window. It's like, bro, how can someone on the internet's hating on me make me upset? They don't hate me as much as I hate me. So what are we doing here? It's a little self-deprecating joke. Hype Spurs made about winning the Europa League has not really progressed to that extent, and Jacob, players who want to achieve more than 17th are not going to come to Spurs. I would say that's a little recency bias, Lynn, because just a year prior we finished 5th, and if I'm not mistaken, Forest finished below that this year in their greatest fucking campaign since Batman died or whatever. So I don't know. I do agree that players are not going to want to go to like a fucking Southampton if they think they're the shit. They're not going to want to go to a recently promoted or kind of low hanging fruit. I just don't buy that we're like that low hanging fruit. I don't buy our position in the league as a direct indication of where this squad is or where this club is. I don't see that our losses last year are the reason why we can't score against Luton. I think in that regard, if I'm being honest with no sarcastic irony or trying to be funny or talk shit, like, you got to look at these players. But I do believe there is an element of guilt that falls to the manager, the same amount that I applied to Ange Postecoglou when players were leaking in goals or failing to score. You know, the fact that, again, I go back, I just always remember Newcastle and Arsenal. They were back-to-back Premier League matches that we lost, where we had 30 shots and only one went in off of a Dan Burn butt goal. I think he scored it with his left ass cheek, I'm pretty sure. And to me, that's like, what more can the manager do but fucking lead the horse to the water? Now, if the horse don't want to take a bath, well, guess what? That's the horse's fault. So there is an element, a large element, I should say, in my opinion, of like, these bozos can't fucking score against Luton. Like, obviously they're good in the sense of like, they're not, you know, Tamworth level of embarrassing, which we failed to score against them for 115 minutes damn near. So, you know, I think these players, man, they need to kick up the ass. And that's why I felt so reluctant about Frank in the first place, which was because it just kind of felt like, it doesn't matter. No kicks, no kicking. Just be nice, live, laugh, love. And I'm just so tired of this fucking, just get behind the manager, guys. Just say yes. And like, all right, just say yes to no goal scored, to so far through 3 matches, 0 identity. You know, 3 matches, 2 weeks of training. You would hope that there's at least something there. Now, again, I'm not saying I'm the motherfucking Nosferatu, the fucking all-seeing eye of football tacticos, like a 443 YouTube channel. You know, if you're into that shit, you should watch that, Ashmatic or 2 that I would recommend, because I more see it from, I played goalie for 22 years of my life. I've watched the sport for over 20 years of my life. I view it from a standpoint of a player that played in the very back, and then also as a fan. So like, I, in my simple mind, don't know what the fuck we're trying to do without the ball, with the ball. It just kind of seems like we string a couple passes together, someone makes a run, and we say, fuck it, let's try. But then there was also a lot of times that went down the left-hand side with Brennan Johnson there on the left, and it just seemed like we would do a couple good things. The Mikey Moore was in the 10, kind of linking up nice, and then Brennan Johnson would just run out of bounds with the ball or pass it straight into the defender that's standing right in front of him. And to me, goddamn, like, do I blame Frank for that? No, because I've seen that before Frank was here. So, you know, but I do agree that like the buzz around Spurs, but this is where I fall onto that like 48 hours where we announced Kudus, or we got the here we go Kudus. 24 hours later, we got the here we go Morgan Gibbs-White. That's when I started saying, okay, maybe we're moving different. We're actually moving and grooving and acting like we know how to dance. And the sad part is, it feels like no, not anymore. Maybe we did a little bit. No one wants to play under Frank. You think Romero, Cooler, Van de Veen would have come to play under Frank? They are stuck. Well, I bet Kulu would. I bet Van de Veen would. Maybe Romero 50-50. But I don't. I mean, he was Serie A Defender of the Year. Do we have that pull now? I can't assume that nobody wants to play under Frank because, you know, Mohamed Kudus is a player I've admired. And the words in his mouth were that he wanted to play under Frank because he saw how Frank progressed players. That's when I said, all right, well, I'll fucking, you know, the legitimate player that I've legitimately wanted before Ainge, during Ainge, and now with Thomas. This is a guy that I would have signed the entirety of those years. He verbatim said that he wanted to play for Frank. So like, either that's an indictment on my talent idea of a player being shit, or that, you know, maybe there are players that don't. Like, I bet you motherfucking Cristiano Ronaldo wouldn't, you know, in his prime, wouldn't want to go play for Thomas Frank. He want to play for one of the high profile managers. You know, you look at teams like Liverpool, who just won the league. Arne Slot, who the fuck is he? It doesn't matter. Frimpong, Wirtz, fucking lapped up. Then they went and got Ikitiki, and then now they're looking at Isak as well. They're moving insane, and they won the league. And we came in 17th, and we're going to motherfucking court. We're going to motherfucking court. You know, there's a video, and I actually haven't downloaded it, so let me download it because it is legitimately us. It is legitimately us in fucking divorce court. And we're busy doing that. And just 15 days gone down the drain. Gibbs-White threw his whole career down the drain. And it's just weird times at Ridgemont High. They say fast times at Ridgemont High. I'm going to say weird times at Ridgemont High. But what I will say is there was a fun video that I did see as well today. It was Romero coaching up Frank, and then Frank took the info and went and coached up with it. I thought it was beautiful. Look at Kuti acting like a motherfucking captain. That's what I like to see. Oh, shit, I uploaded the wrong one. Oh, damn. Is there a way to cancel that? No, it's just going to upload for a minute there. What, Jacob, you literally gave the what? I just hope Sean Butler deletes his last video. Who? You said Sean Butler?
Alright guys, check this out. Crazy looking bull snake right here. And as you can see, the hissing that he's doing is from a modified epiglottis. When they push air through, it causes that hissing.
Yeah. Can't say that I've seen it. I don't hate watch stuff. I don't like I just don't watch stuff if I don't like if I think the person's a shit fuck, then I just don't watch it personally. And if you want to know why I feel that way, there's a whole video about it somewhere on this channel. There's that video. There we go. I'm going to upload that. All right. While that uploads, Jacob, I'm 35. I've never seen Forrest win a major trophy. I'm 34. I'll be 35 in November. And I have never seen it either. Since I've been watching the Premier League, they were just nothing. They were like maybe a team you see in a cup competition, but even still nothing to, you know, when I really started, okay, what's up, Nottingham Forest, was when they beat Arsenal in the FA Cup and Jed Spence had himself a day. Bring Ainge back. Well, it's too late. You can't. And I think bringing him back would actually be worse than just sticking with what we're doing personally. Like, you know, people think because I love Ainge and I'm critical of things that happen, they say, oh, all right, then just bring Ainge. I saw that in the chat from a certain moderator that also used to be a moderator on this channel, but as soon as we don't see eye to eye on everything, he just never appears in the chat anymore. It's weird how that works. It's not weird. I was being facetious, but I was saying something, and you know, a lot of people will indirectly talk to me, like they'll talk to me, but like not, hey Jacob, this. Some people will, and shout out those people. But yeah, he says something like, I know how to solve the problem with these Ainge sexuals and these Ainge cultists. Just bring back Ainge, problem solved. And it's like, no, that's an even sillier response than bringing up Ainge in the first place. Ainge to Forrest would be hilarious. Sean Butler, it's a done deal. I mean, yeah. Yeah, clickbait, man. Clickbait will be clickbait. I was replying to Kudus Jacob asking me something about. Oh, okay. Ainge was a cup manager, and Ainge brainwashed the players into thinking they were top drawer, and this is going to be Spurs' downfall. Well, you know, what do they say? You can put a dress and some lipstick on a pig, but that ain't going to make it a beautiful date. It's still just going to be a pig at the end of the day. I didn't catch the friendlies today, but didn't Donnelly play left back? What sort of manager would do that? I'm pretty sure Ainge did that as well. Maybe his first or second preseason. I'm not sure. But I feel like that's been a thing that a couple of managers tried. So whether you love Ainge, hate Ainge, love Frank, hate Frank, it don't really matter. I think they both tried him at left back. I think Ainge even put Skip at. Well, one thing I will say that I did hear from Sava was, and I don't know if this is true. This is just a number that I heard him say. So, you know, assuming it's true, he said that we saw 41 players, 41 different players in this preseason. If that's the case, that is actually fucking insane. Like, that is a crazy amount of fucking players. I can't recall the last time that I've seen that many players in a preseason. I didn't even realize I've seen that many players in a preseason. There's a lot of names. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this? Paged me at 5:46 in the morning, crack of dawn, and it's like I kind of like that part because that's something I've wanted, which is like to see someone at least look at. You can't say that Frank ain't looked at the kids, and not in a weird way, like in a you know, not like a 500 feet away from the nearest elementary school way. I mean, like, he's played the kids. The kids have played in a fucking game that he's watching, that he coached, that I would hope he's watched film on afterwards, etc. So that's something that I've asked for. So I'm not really, I kind of think that's cool. I kind of think that's a good thing. But they both played Donnelly at left back. I don't know why, whatever, Solanke's out, you don't just, you know, play like a striker there, or like a, maybe even a Donnelly, even because his natural position, I'm pretty sure, was the 10. But I've only seen him in the senior team as a left back. It's weird. It is kind of weird. We will get more signings. It's a matter of when and who. I do hope you're right. Surely you would like to see some quality come in and not wait till you have to bargain buy. Yeah, but Lynn, surely, but don't call me Shirley. I surely would like to see some quality come in and not have to wait to get a bargain buy. But if you remember how they did, let's just say the last manager, he went on record saying this was my key signing, Brennan Johnson, and we didn't get him until motherfucking into the window. We had already played, I think, 2-3 games by the time we signed him. Jacob, you literally gave the drive defense. The drive. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm way behind in the chat. Shit, there's a lot of people here. A lot more people than I thought would be here at fucking 2. I think I started like 2 or 3 a.m. in the UK, so it's just after dinner time for me. Big up Jacob and chat. Big up Citywide Bry. Where does this rank among failed transfers in the last 10 years? I don't think it beats us losing out on Bruno Fernandes and Paulo Dybala. That was a travesty. Like, what's worse, losing out on a player or not buying any at all? Like, the most bitter the transfer windows I've ever made me was the ones under Poch. So I think he got done the dirtiest. And then I think Jose got done the next dirtiest. And then I think Conte, I mean, if you think about it, Conte fucking miracled us into 4th. And then the next year we're like, we got Champions League, Conte. Who you want? He's like, go give me Bastoni. How about a Longley? All right. Go get me, I don't know who his DM was that he wanted. We got him Basuma. We got him Richarlison, Perisic, and Fraser Forster. And whatever manager got Brian Hill, I think it was Nuno. Poor Nuno. Because that's fucked up. Like, who does that to a guy? The narrative that players aren't going to come because we're 17th needs to die. Yeah, I think it's silly. I think anyone that's like, they're 17th, I'm not going to go. I think that's a little silly. It's just an easy way to blame Ainge for another problem in life. We should be aiming for top 6 or above with a trophy. I agree with that. Ainge ruined our players, says Callo2. Yeah, because players are like bananas. They just spoil, and after that, you got to throw them out. And so silly. It's really a silly, silly comment that it makes me laugh. But if you're not laughing, this is for you.
Crying in the corner, huh? Mind if I join you? No, go ahead.
Benny, you and me both, brother. We both got hyped on that business attorney bullshit that we were like, oh, you don't want to play with Levy in the courtroom. Well, he played with Levy and he won. So that's it. Frank is hoping there are no injuries, says Huey Golf. You know, I'm way behind in the chat, so I'm going to have to skip ahead and like miss some comments. I apologize. But Huey Golf, you brought up a point that I actually did really want to talk about. We're almost coming up here on an hour. So what's up with 2 weeks of training and everybody's hurt? Solanke's hurt. Destiny's hurt. Zio Bro's hurt. Solomon. Who else is getting like? It just seemed like all of a sudden these players can't get through training, and I'm like, it's got to be Ainge. He's the ghost of Christmas past. He's the ghost of Christmas tomorrow. I don't know, because someone at that training ground is hurting these players. All right, and if it's only been 2 weeks of training, and that's what we're going to use to say, well, you can't beat a double time relegated side. You can't score against them. We've only had 2 weeks of training sessions. All right. Well, how come in 2 weeks of training sessions we've also depleted at least what you could say 2 players from our starting 11 in Solanke and Destiny? The plot is thickening like a bowl of gravy. Like a bowl of gravy. Multiple things can be true. New system that needs to be learned, but the players also have to play better and they bring a better quality. I think all of those are 3. So that's 3 things. Yeah, multiple things. You know, Quasimodo predicted this. Isn't Quasimodo the dude from the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Notre Dame, sorry. I keep hearing Ainge out. He's still here. Or I keep hearing Ainge out like he's still here. Now Frank has to coach that stink Ainge is infecting him with. Yeah, like, if I do see it, like if Ainge is at fault, okay, sure. And let's assume he covered them all in his poo-poo, and that's why they're all stinky. But motherfuckers have had a few baths, and they shouldn't have poo-poo on them. Now the poo-poo that accrues on their bodies is down to a few different suspects. That's just my opinion anyway. Jacob, today whoever came in as manager has got a hard job on their hands. Yeah, they do. I mean, shit. Imagine you're trying to take over for a guy who just won a trophy that has only been seen 3 times in 143 years. I think that those are big shoes to fill. I'd leave if I was Kuti. Well, seems like he's gonna stay, and I love him for it. Because if he would have left, it's like now I gotta hate the ones that I love, and nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that, man. Frank's player improvement is very skewed because Brentford data selection brought in players who are always going to improve. We will soon see this. JJJ, I brought this up on the actual last live stream that I did with Flawless and Paul the Hotspur Hippie, and I brought up like how much of this was nature versus nurture. And I ain't talking about serial killer, real crime bullshit. I'm talking about like how many of these players grew to where they were in talks of basically like when it was Tony and Buemo and Visa in that front line, 2 out of 3 everyone would have taken in their team, and they stayed for another couple years and even got better and then started getting their moves. So my thought was like, were those players always eventually going to be that good? Like in Buemo being born, I don't recall the African nation he's from, but wherever he was born, was he by hook or by crook always going to be the Mbeumo that we've seen? Well, I would put a lot of that down to him and his family and his foundation. And then I would look at what are the outside factors that took him to the next level. And Frank, you can't take him out of that as much as anyone would like to. You can't take him away from that. But who knows really how much, because that's part of my argument is like, it wasn't all Frank. Like either Frank's improvement rate hits at a 100%, which would mean that we're going to fucking win the whole lot, and I'm all for it. So that is either the truth or it's a mixture of both. Frank has been able to take players that is backed by a fantastic data selection, recruitment, and scouting team, like with Brighton. You notice how with Brighton, De Zerbi left, they plug in another manager, and they keep fucking going, and they just keep fucking going. Because there's a thing when you have a stable club, which is something we haven't had in a very long time, and Brentford Frank has been a part of that, but there's also other departments that have helped stabilize them with the personnel that they've brought in. I don't even know who their manager is, so I don't know how they're going to look next year. And I think that might also be an indictment of losing their best player and their manager, or potentially their 2 best players, 3 best players if you include that fool that went up to Woolwich. We don't know what's going on, but we know what went before. This is why Spurs fans are cautious. Absolutely. Sean said he's 100% ours. Well, Sean and not telling the truth, that's like brewing a cup of coffee and it being hot. It's crazy. It's like, whoa, how did that get hot? It's because you just brewed it. Oh, Sean clickbaited and lied. Shocker. Shocker. Lineker Gaza got away with a dirty bass and then got injured. It was a mad final. Guy Thompson, I don't think you're talking to me. Last minute replacement because Udogi came ill last minute. Well, illness or not, we had a few of those. But like Mikey Moore, that was Ainge's fault. So why didn't Frank wear a mask? Why did Frank expose Destiny to a virus? I'm being silly. Any reasonable fans would give Frank time, but Spurs fandom are not reasonable. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Kudus is kind of the only reason I fucking said, all right, I'll stop being a dickhead. Because he said, I want to play for Frank. And that's a player that's like, I've been championing, fucking A. I've been hoping that we sign him. And he fucking said, I like this guy. And that was a guy that I was not being nice to. So I was like, all right, then fuck it. I can't just not, Said on his way back from the Luton game that he spoke with 2 people in the know that Gibbs-White. Oh my God. That makes all of this so much more funny, bro. Hang on. Hang on, bro. I'm taking a photo of this and I'm sending it to Paul. Because what was it? I'm a whopper or whatever, and all the other bullshit. You gotta be careful who you're hitching your horse to, buddy. That's good. That's hilarious.
This is the most obnoxious group of money-hungry, low IQ, high energy, jackrabbit, fucking wannabe, big time, small time, shit talking, bothersome, irritating bunch of motherfuckers I have ever had to endure for more than 5 minutes.
Big up Boston. Spurs don't need Morgan Gibbs-White. Madison is better. Yeah, but he's better for 33% of a season than most players in that position. But, Thomas is going to get to touching him like fucking Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. And we're going to have our very own clay scene, all right?
All right, man.
All right. We're all going to do that. That's nice. Hello, Sophia's Ascension. Sophia's Ascension. I feel like I'm going into space when I read your name. Issues is that there's still plenty of quality out there rumored to be moved. Yeah, it's just a matter of if we'll pay it. Like I saw go for Wharton. You go get Wharton. You go get motherfucking somebody else, that can play backup striker because if Sean, sorry, fucking Paul texts me. What did Paul say? I'm going to expose his text live on air. In the know, Butler does it again. Pulitzer time, bitch, is what Paul said. Oh, God, that's hilarious. Basically, all these fucking phony frauds.
One puppy, puppy, why you feel this toppy? I want to play it to the catch a pool down to you tonight. Need my take. I want to play it to the catch a pool down to you tonight.
Gibbs-White is coming to Tottenham. I heard from 2 people. On my way home from the game. On my way home from the game. On my way home from the game, I heard Gibbs-White's for real. What a fucking loser. That's great. People are already calling it a snooze fest. Yeah, it's pretty boring from my estimation. We are done. The Frank train has no tracks. Levy scammed, finesse us again. The windows closed already. Basil. Is that the dude from Charlie's Angels? I think that's the dude. Basil? Cameroon. Thank you. Cameroon. And Buemo's from France and represents Cameroon. There's a lot of talent from France that reps different countries while still playing in the French system. Citywide Bride, big up to you. This is why you're a fucking moderator extraordinaire, because you always keep that thing on you, and I'm talking about the facts. Jacob, well, this new season will tell because a lot of players need improvement. They need to get touched by Tommy, and the sooner that happens, the better. And I ain't talking about like no weird shit. You know, I'm talking about just the scene from Ghost. When Tommy gets to doing that, all the players will be we're going to make our Embuemo. We're going to craft our very own Ivan Toney. We're going to create even better because they're nobodies when Tommy met them and then he made them the Embuemos and the Tonys. People know Kudus. People know Solanke. So imagine what he can make them. The exponential growth will be like my pants. Frank's best player didn't want to follow him to a club that has money to allow him to succeed. If Embuemo doesn't believe him, how can we? I ain't gonna say it, baby. I ain't gonna say it, baby. But I just read the comment, so I did not do anything wrong. Because as you saw from the tweet that I was showing earlier, people get really upset if you say, what about this? Go fuck off with Ange, you fucking shit.
What the fuck was that about, huh? What's up, you fat pig? What, you don't see where you're fucking going? I wasn't even driving. Don't shut the fuck up, you fucking piece of bacon. Why'd I get picked up?
I don't know why. Kudus didn't look that good today. However, because the other 9 players are so poor, he looked good. Lynn, it's funny you say that because when I was like, who kind of actually stood out to me? There was like a few great touches from Kudus. There was that one that it looked like he was almost, I didn't know if he was trying to shoot it far corner or if he was trying to lay it in there for Brendan Johnson to do what Brendan Johnson does in the tap in. I don't know. But he did look good because the others were so. I thought Mikey Moore had a little something about him. I don't think he like tracked back enough or as quickly as maybe anyone else would have liked him to. I don't know. I thought he was okay. Most obvious, 8th place. Yeah, 8th place. Yeah. And they'll say, well, look, he moved us up 9 spots. And then we'll all say, yay. Relevancy without glory. That's what the game is about, guys. Adair S. Fasir, get that out of here. Shine on, you Spurs. Maybe we're going to win something. Maybe, hopefully, we win something today. Oh, shit. I guess Paul knows I'm live. He asked for the link, so... disclaimer, if you don't like Paul, the Hotspur hippie, well...
Answer is yes, haha, you're fucked. All right, no, haha, you're fucked.
Don't talk over me. Let me finish. Touched by Tommy, directed by Tom Green. That actually sounds like a movie I'd rent at Blockbuster back in the day. That oh shit. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and get ready to taste the biscuit.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce.
Taste the honey sauce, Paul. How you doing?
Honk, honk, honk. Hello, man. Yeah, still camera. Still, probably my last day of being sick today, but I couldn't be bothered plugging my laptop in and all that crap. So, hey, Pulitzer short prize there for Sean Butler, man. The hide of these people, man, that all this, I know someone who, like if it was genuine, say if I was talking to someone at the club and they gave me a little bit of spice, and then I go on my dopey YouTube channel and say, well, rumor has it, I spoke to someone in the know and they said this is going to happen. Then that person immediately say to me, what the fuck are you doing? That was just a private conversation. And I think that's how you know how it's all bullshit. Anytime any of these clowns say, someone, you know, with the who fills the ink in the fountain pen that signs the contracts told me that this is going to happen. It's bullshit. It's just lies.
Well, I also just to piggyback off that, today I was listening to a show, and I think Dan from the Hotspur Hood or Alex Box Office, someone pressed Lubo about him saying that he's like, my sources were telling me that there's been a buyout, we've been bought out, and it's going to be announced, it's going to be this and that. And I'm like, well, what's up with that? Like, why isn't that happening? Obviously, it's not happening, and blah blah blah. And he's, you know, I think. Yeah, it's like, I know the dude who cleans the toilets at the stadium, and he told me that he saw Daniel Levy go into a business room, and it's like, all right, cool. That's what I'm saying. Like when I've worked, even at FC Dallas, like that level of sports media versus Dallas Cowboys level of sports media is insane. Like Cowboys is like Man United, right? When there's a press conference, there's fucking 150 cameras there catching everything, and FC Dallas is more like, let's say when Nottingham Forest has a press conference, you might get 5 reporters, maybe 1, maybe 2. There's for sure going to be the in-house guy to make them feel like, hey, we all listening to you. So my point in saying all that, and I hope I don't forget it now as I say it, is that the people who I saw that were like third-party media constituents, let's say, I had a podcast about FC Dallas. He would talk about my source this, my source that. And we were literally like, who is his source? Who is his? Then they were able to single out, well, who's the one feeding him this information? Then guess what? They found out who fed him the information. He got fired. And guess what? His source never changed. He still gets the same info from the same source. Just the guy's now not working there. But he's now so this guy's now talking to his sources. So it's just basically like when you get a brick of cocaine and you cut it down with baby powder. You turn 1 pound into 4 pounds, and now you make more money. But the product is less good. And that's exactly what's going on in this instance, in my opinion, with this. And it's also, I think, a little bit of like people's ego and pride. They want to be like, I broke the news. I broke this. I did that. It's like, did you know? It's
a scattergun approach, isn't it? You can say 100 random things, and you might be right 5 out of the 100. And you can say, "See, I told you." And then people say, "But what about these other things you said?" "Oh, I never said that." Like according to Sean Butler, we've been bought and sold fucking how many times? We've had the Qataris were going to buy us. Saudis, your guy from Dallas, he was going to buy us.
I love that.
Petronas. I mean, I know Sean Butler is a whore himself, but I think our club is not as whorish as Sean Butler. I think if they are going to be sold at some stage, he's going to be the last cunt to know about it, to be honest.
Well, maybe not last, but I'm just going to say not first or second or third or fourth or fifth or sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. You can keep going, but I just think that's why I respect you, and I try to hold myself to a standard in which I can respect as well, which is to openly admit I don't know shit. This is all speculation. This is all opinion. Yeah. This is all. And when I am saying something that I'm like, this is fact, it's irrefutably a fact because it's not draped with like agenda or bias. And I found it funny because, you know, I'm in a chat and I'm like, hey, you know, I was hearing, I think it was something along the lines of like, oh, Tommy hasn't had enough time. And, you know, if you have common sense, then you would know that it takes longer than 2 weeks to instill some kind of a system and some kind of da-da-da. And I say, okay, like I can agree with that to an extent. Like you're not going to see Tommy ball in the first 2 weeks of training. But what we do have right now is clearly not an identity, clearly no cohesion, but also how long does it take to train players to beat a team that in 2 consecutive years has gotten relegated? Like,
nah, man. I heard because I was skimming through your channel, through your stream to catch up. I thought, oh, Jacob's live, but then I had a speed read like the first 40 minutes of it when you sent me the picture. But no, pre-season training is totally different. I think. I mean, I'm guessing, and like they're being flogged to death. It's not like during a season where you're managing
Well, no, I mean
peak fitness.
players.
So
Without saying too much about you, I mean, I know from players when I've worked in sports, and you have talked to players that have told you the training is absolutely different. My question to you, Paul, is Ainge, or is the ghost of Ainge at training? Is he the one who's hurting these players and they can't get through 2 weeks of Tommy's training now?
the aura is still remaining, is it? So
It's like when you take a big shit in the bathroom, you still gonna smell it when you come in 10 minutes.
This is what I said. Why, you know, this is why I just always stick with the manager. It keeps it easy. I don't have to go into. But you said this about Ange, and now you're not saying it about Frank, are you? Because I never said it about Ange, and I wouldn't say it about Frank. Like, injuries happen.
That's not a
Just
good
the way it
impression of
goes.
me, because that's me. That's what I've said. I'm gonna say you need to
It
work on
wasn't
your American accent a little bit.
actually,
That
no,
was
it wasn't
kinda...
supposed to be you, but you do say shit like that, so it might have
I
been
do.
man.
I do. Hey, I say I like my energy like my socks. I like them matching my. Hey, come
You're,
on,
you're,
baby,
you're,
talk
just
to
a, you're just a big 6'4" petty fuck. Whereas I'm a
You
bigger
know-
picture. I'm a holistic kind of guy, man. It's like Ange was here yesterday and Thomas Frank is here today. So I'm all behind Thomas Frank. And then I'm unquestionable. People can't come back at me because I had loads of that shit last year. Oh, you're just sticking up at Ange. And I'd say, go and look at me sticking up for Conte when, you know, on other people's streams. I'm always exactly the same. So people can go fuck themselves, basically, especially the
Well,
ones with in the knowledge.
you say you don't change. I would counter that and say that humans are supposed to constantly grow and be better and woo, I'm a butterfly now. I was a caterpillar, and you'd rather just be a caterpillar. See, this is where I got to push you, Paul, as your friend. I got to say, Paul, you gotta be the butterfly that we all know you can be. I want to see Paul angry rant, Paul clickbait, Paul. My sources told me this, and then just start leaking your source's name and doxing them. I think it'd be great. And also, what I would say is this: who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? It's the same thing I've always said. Like, this person said this, who gives a fuck? I said that, who gives a fuck? Because at the end of the day, none of us know, like the players or the coaches and the new coaching staff, or hell, even Betty Sue making the tea at the front desk. Like, she know much more about this club and what's going on than us. And maybe that's the fucking mole, because I bet it's Betty Sue at the fucking front desk. I'm not gonna lie, but like, to me, I've fluctuated in, and like Benny says, change is the only constant in life. Yeah, the only thing I'm sure of is shit ain't always going to be the way that you want it to be, and shit ain't always going to stay the same. And it's that, like, Tottenham are a great reminder of that little life truth that I live by, which is that, like, you can think we're going to do this, then we do the opposite. Like, we're supposed to lose. We're not going to win today. And then we go beat Man City 4-0. Okay. You know, oh, they're just a Harry Kane team. Then we go knock they bitch ass out the motherfucking competition totally by Son. It's like, that wasn't supposed to happen. That happened. We're not supposed to be European champions in 17th place. But guess what? It happened. And that's the thing. It's like, that's why I try not to have too much expectations with people or with situations or things that I can't control myself, or at least have a large dealing in, because what the fuck? You don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I mean, a great indication of that, you know, in Sopranos, it's like, I know what's gonna happen, but when I watch it back on the second back like I'm doing now, I'm seeing things that I didn't see the first time. And it's like, we don't get those do-overs. We can't rewatch. I mean, we could, but who the fuck wants to go rewatch times from the fucking Jose, Conte, all of that, all those eras? Like, I personally don't. But I just think that Tottenham are gonna fucking be Tottenham. And I remember, you know, Paul, I played this clip because I was kind of starting to feel like, I don't think it's gonna happen. Well, we technically haven't got Gibbs-White. I'm not even convinced he's alive anymore. It feels like the part of the movie where it's Gone Girl, and you're just like, I guess it's been more than 48 hours. And statistically, when it's been more than 48 hours and Gone Girl been missing, she don't come back. Sad story. So I was just kind of feeling like, it's been a minute. We ain't heard nothing. I'm starting to, this thing is not going to happen, and maybe we should move on.
I don't know. I've forgotten who made the comment, but I saw you agree with it, and I agree with it. I think maybe Morgan Gibbs-White just fucking Arna slotted us, didn't he?
Yeah, I did say that. I do think that, but that's also me with agenda. But you know what? Should we just pass it off as fact? My sources have hold on. Breaking news, everybody.
I'm not
My
entertaining
source-
enough to just talk, so I'm just going to make shit up and pretend I'm on Sky Sports.
Breaking
That's
news,
where I want to be.
My inside source, Paul. My inside sources have told me and indicated in the last 35 minutes. Okay.
My spiritual home is Sky Sports, and Talk Sport is my temple. That's where I belong. Give me a call.
Don't talk over me. Let me finish.
Oh, have you finished now? Can I
As
talk
I was
now?
saying,
Can I talk now?
I was waiting for you to say something like, I'm trying to finish, as I just had a lengthy pause there. I don't even know what I was saying. I was just trying to talk shit.
No, man.
No, that I think he Arn slotted us. He just said, hey, either you pay me my worth, either you show me what I'm worth, like a Beyonce song. What was that? If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. And, we were like the friend laying in wait. And then Marinakis got upset. Oh, baby, you got what I need. And then it's like, you say Tottenham's just a friend. You say Tottenham's just a friend. And then he put a ring on it. And it's like, but the damage has been done in the sense like the fans hate him. They've all called him a snake. They won't even say his name when they do the watch along. They just say number 10. And so now he's in a position where it's like fans are still wanting him to be sold, just not to us. And their main thing is they think they've ruined our transfer window, as I was looking at earlier.
Yeah, well, it's really catching on fire at the moment now, isn't it? What fucking players are out there, man? And you're talking about
there's plenty of players. I mean, there's plenty of players.
We ain't spending 80 million on a player. Like it's 60 seems to be our ceiling, and it's 60, 65 maybe. It's not going to be much more than that.
That's the disappointing part because like I just pulled this photo up of fucking Snorlax Mariakis and Gibbs-White, and it reminded me, that he was voted the 6th best player in the Premier League last year. And that's what we're going to be missing out on that I was excited that I thought we were going to get. It actually made me think about Tottenham differently. And that's why I was so like, I guess I just got to support Frank because clearly look at the way we fucking moving. We're doing shit I cannot comprehend. Therefore, I will just hang on to the train and just catch a ride. And it's like, now I'm like, oh yeah, this feels exactly how it's felt in the past. Just a day late and $1 short every fucking time.
Dude, that transfer window at the end of Conte's first season, because I was pumped. I wasn't a huge fan of football, but hey,
Are you talking about the Champions League pool? When the fucking myth of Champions League is a pool, just like the myth that 17th is a deterrent?
All that is bullshit. It's bullshit, man.
Well, that's not what Spurs fans will have you believe, because I heard today we couldn't win because we lost so much with Ainge.
Nah, man. No, look. If a player only wants to go to a club because of Champions League football, I think that's especially a club like Tottenham, because you're not guaranteed to get in it every year. I think you don't want that player because they're just going to fuck off next year or whatever. I don't think that's a good enough reason to have a player at a club in the first place. But that transfer window, I was riding high, man. And then you're right, when we signed fucking Longley, oh my god,
on loan,
on loan.
It's okay, guys. Stopgap FC, Perisic on a free. The only they're like, Perisic, hey, it'd be like a nice fucking. You're just like an intern.
You remember the World Cup, don't you?
Give me Bastoni. Here's a long lay. How about that?
Yeah.
And then in January he's like, I need some help. Here's a Dan Juma. How you like that? And it's like, what? How is that helping me? we brought Brian Hill back, I think is something else we did. It's like, we're dusty. We have taken the best managers and just given them scraps and let them do anything with it. And then you get a worse manager, you give a little bit more, and then you get a worse manager, you give a little bit more. And then now we're looking at the belly button hole of Marinakis. And he's laughing, and that big old gut is jiggling tonight. You can guarantee he's spilling fucking feta all over his belly button hole. It's probably all sweaty and hairy. Looks like a goddamn ball of grease that fell on the floor and then picked up a bunch of dog hair on it. You know what I'm talking about?
He looks like a YouTuber I saw that said, Porro should have kicked that 2 inches to the left when a keeper saved one of his free kicks. And I'm thinking, yeah, you would have tripped over your own twat and burst into tears, mate.
I don't know what YouTuber you're talking about, but I would love to know if you want to put it in the private chat, because that's funny. And when you get brought to court, this is going to be...
You told one of the witnesses who disagreed with you during an interview that you thought Mr. Baldwin was a cocksucker.
I do not recall saying that.
I love that clip. So he's like, that Mr. Baldwin was a cocksucker. He's like, you said I was a cocksucker? It's just funny. I do not recall saying that. That's gonna be me whenever Thomas Frank wins the Premier League and the Champions League. And then I'm talking about Tommy's the best thing since sliced bread. They're gonna be like, but you hated him. You called him trash can Tommy. I do not recall saying that. That's my official stance.
Amazing how faulty people's memories are about things, isn't it? I can't recall that.
I didn't say that. Show me where I said that. And then I put all those videos on private. Cooked them. I saw this, Paul, and it's probably too small for you to see on your phone, but it is a stat of the most GA in the last 5 seasons in Europe's top 5 leagues. You want to guess who plays for Tottenham that is in the top 6?
Son? No, GA.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's Son. So
really?
People talking about, look at this. In the last 5 seasons, in the best 5 leagues, you've got Mbappe as number 1, Harry Kane at number 2, Lewandowski at number 3, Mohamed Salah at number 4, Erling Haaland at number 5, and coming in at 6, big sexy dick swinging Son Heung-min.
Brilliant.
Big cocking.
That's where he is, man. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't watch the...
less minutes than Salah, less minutes than Kane, less minutes than Ollie Watkins. Talk to me fucking nicely.
I didn't watch the friendlies last night, but I did see some reaction saying, Son's gone. It's like, oh, fuck off. It's pre-season, mate. Don't tell me Son's gone. I've heard that so many times, and it's always been bollocks. It's always turned out he's had an injury, and then he comes up. Then when he's fully fit, he plays really well. So, nah, Son is.
Speaking of fully fit, no Dominic Solanke in the squad today. Is it because our manager's naive and clueless about training and regimen of physical body because he's not physically built like a professional athlete, or could it just be Solanke wasn't fit?
Yeah, well, they said that about Ange, then I'm going to say it about Frank. Petty fuck.
You son of a bitch.
I do see what you're saying, because there are people out there saying, "Oh, let's get behind the manager." It's like, oh, now that it's a manager you fucking like, we've all got to do that now. When it's a manager,
I did comment that in the Football Heritage live chat, because Lubo was like, he would start talking about something, then Ainge would be getting talked about, and you could hear it in his voice, like he's talking about the neighbor who throws his dog shit over the fence into his yard or something. I was like, bro, did he steal your lunch money? Why are you so upset? He can't hurt you anymore. He's just like, yeah, and then we did this and blah, and the fucking manager shouldn't have even fucking been here. Just like, bro, I like that people express themselves, and I support him expressing. I just find it comically funny. I couldn't help but laugh every time he started talking, because it would have nothing to do with Ainge, and it always came back to just Why he can't hurt you anymore? It's okay.
Dude, I get comments on my videos like there'll be totally something unrelated, and I'll get a comment saying, "Oh, stop crying over Ange," and I'm thinking, "What the fuck are you on about? What? I haven't even talked about the guy, you know."
Yeah. Well,
like, let it go.
The funniest part to me is like I haven't even brought him up, and then people are like, "That's just because you're still sucking off Ainge." It's like,
yeah,
what?
that's right. Yeah,
you're the first one to mention him. You're an Ainge sexual. It's like, bro, I haven't even talked about him once. I just said, why can't we score against a team that's fucking been relegated 2 years in a row?
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see on your phone, but it's our beautiful fucking Argentinian fucking champion, Michael Jordan of finals, Cuti Romero. And guess what he's doing? Coaching up Frank. And then Frank says, "Is this what you're talking about? You talking about this? Okay, I understand, sir. Yes, sir." He said, "Sir, yes, sir," when he saw Cuti Romero. Because you know what? Again, put up their accomplishments next to each other. And what do you see?
No, Frank's just saying.
Diamonds look like PP.
Yeah, yellow diamonds look like PP.
No, Frank's just saying, Romero, you do what I fucking say, son, or you are going to have a new teammate at Sevilla, and that's going to be Brian Hill. How the fuck are you going to like that?
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like as Thomas Frank gets an earful from Cuti, the captain, the fucking champion, and guess what? He's like, do this, and then what does Frank do? Nods his head like the Gucci brand yes man he is, and he says, "Yes, sir." You see that? That's a head nod. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm scrubbing it for you here, Paul. He says, "Do this, you fucking Argentina is so great. I love it. The mountains in Buenos Aires." And then fucking Frank says, "Yes, sir." Nods his head, says, "Yes, sir." You act like we ain't got the Gucci brand of yes man. He's gonna say yes. When they ask Frank about Cuti leaving, he says, "I'm not gonna let him, but I'll talk to him, guys."
I think Frank's spitting in his face there. Just fucking had enough.
I don't.
Listen to the attitude.
All right, I'm gonna let's watch it. Like I'm gonna full screen it, watch it from start to finish, and I want to see if like this looks. All honesty and all jokes aside, it just looks like Cuti's talking to him about what he's seeing out there. Frank's like, "Okay, I think this," and he's like, "Yeah, but this," and he's like, "Yeah, blah blah blah." This, that. It's literally just an exchange between the captain and the manager, honestly. But I'm gonna make it a big deal, and I'm gonna say Cuti put him in his place because as you see here, there's the shot. Okay, so this is where it starts, Paul. I'm gonna not pause it. I'm just gonna let it play through, but it's definitely Cuti telling Frank, "Go fuck yourself. You motherfucker, get the fuck over here. Take your britches over there.
No.
The fuck away."
He's saying, I'm telling you, Frank, a great place to have a holiday is Margate. Get down there. All right, thanks. I'll take it on board.
Oh, Margate, yeah, it's not too hot in the winter. Yeah, okay. Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Because as you can see there, then Frank gives him some instructions, and then Cuti nods. So we've got the champion of yes and the Gucci brand of yes, and they're both looking at each other saying yes. And so why won't you, well, actually, you always say yes, Paul. You're an easy fuck. But for anyone who's still doubting Frank, just say yes.
Listen, the benefit of never saying no is now as an old man, I get to look back on a fulfilled life instead of gaps and desert and tumbleweeds.
So basically that translates to poop noodle?
Hey, don't you disgusting, please.
Benny says, "I can't stand this whole we fluked a trophy narrative. We might as well say all trophies are flukes if that's the case." To me, it just sounds like I'm gonna name drop an Arsenal fan here who still sounds like a salty little cunt about it. TJ Warren, hopefully he hears this. You salty little pussy. He does the same shit, and then I hear the fucking Spurs fans that don't want to give props to a trophy win say the same narrative. I'm like, bro, y'all literally sound like verbatim sound like Arsenal fans. I'm not even trying to take the piss and say go support them lot down the road. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying you literally said the same script. Y'all are reading off the same script. Do they email? Are you on the email chain mail letter? Like, Which, so speaking of, have you seen Arsenal fans today like being absolute weirdos about Victor Gonorrhea Koresh?
Nah, I don't watch those pricks, man.
They're basically running around like it's their birthday, or like they. Oh, I saw one account. I didn't save it or anything, but I did see one account that was like an Arsenal fan talking about they were singing Champions of Europe and This Is Us today. The levels are insane and they're so shit, whatever. And I'm like, you posted a video of like a bunch of grown men acting like children doing this over their face because that's what Victor does when he scores. They're celebrating that harder than we celebrated a trophy. Is their whole like
Remind me again what that big silver thing is behind you, Jacob. And I agree. STFC Benny, yeah, I can't stand it. The amount of people I've heard put down that win, like, oh, we were always supposed to win it, or we fluked it. Nah.
Talking about Big Bertha back here.
Yeah, man, bring her out. Let's have a look at the baby. Right. Come on,
Bertha, get
there she is.
Hang on,
there we go.
Hang on, make it in there.
You don't fluke. It's never a fluke. Never a fucking fluke.
Yeah. This is a beaut. I love this thing, and I wake up, I see it. I'm walking through the hall, I see it. It's always here. Always a reminder that we're fucking champions. Like we are.
Oh yeah, but the Europa League is shit because the Champions League places don't drop down into it anymore. It was like, well, that was the case in 1984 when we won it. There was no European Cup runners-up and knockout people coming into that competition. So if you're putting this one down for that, you've got to put down that one and 1963 as well. That was the Cup Winners' Cup. It's just shit. Just enjoy. I don't know. I've been saying it's like, if you can't enjoy winning that fucking cup, this is about as good as it gets. It's genuinely, it's the best. When we did that, that was the best I felt as a Spurs fan since I was 11 years old, because that's the last time we did that achievement. If you ain't happy with that, fuck off, mate.
No.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about our bread and butter.
You forget that stale bread, that melted butter. Got to get that thing. Average at FPL says, genuinely curious. Can you give a brief recap of your thoughts on why Thomas Frank isn't a good choice for Spurs aside from the lack of trophies he's won? Yeah, I could absolutely go through that.
Let's interview the hamster running around the wheel in Jacob's head. Here we go.
You fucking motherfucking. That's it, bro. We're about to. I'm about to. You motherfucker. You motherfucker.
Just put that to one side. How are you feeling? I'm feeling a bit shitty. Yeah, good. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
He's saying your thoughts, isn't it? I mean, that's, you're not a philosopher, are you, mate?
I mean, some say I could make Aristotle rise from the grave, but
wow,
yeah. I'm just saying some, not everyone, but some have said that. Some as in plural, like more than one. Victor got Koresh. I'm calling him Victor Gonorrhea Koresh. Doesn't really roll off the tongue yet, but we'll find. They're calling him VG14. I'm calling him VD14. I'm talking about venereal disease. Fucking STD looking ass. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. I've missed that about the season. Just talking shit on people's name. Like, how can I make their name a silly poopy name? But back to the question. Sorry, I'm not ignoring your question because it's just Paul distracting me, this son of a bitch. But he says, curious, give a recap on your thoughts why Thomas Frank isn't a good choice for Spurs. Okay, so without pulling up his forever loading achievements page or the one with his trophies that says 404 loading, without those two aforementioned details, which are significant details, but we can you see how I'm trying to fucking use big words now because Paul's bringing my motherfucking brains into the conversation about my intellect. The reason why I didn't think originally Thomas Frank is a good choice for Spurs is for several reasons, and outside of the two aforementioned reasons, I think that it just feels like a accepting of being relevant, and it signaled to me a sign of the past that it's like running in place. It felt like an 11-year step backwards to hire a manager who we say, oh, well, he did okay at the lower tier Premier League team that he was on. And it's like, that's a justification somehow for an elite level position of being a manager at Tottenham Hotspur. And I really do feel as though you know, there's a certain pressure that should be applied on a team that is a Europa League champion. Until the next one wins it, we are the Europa League champions. And we will forever be the 2025 Europa League champions. And it just kind of seems to me it's less about, and this is from a club perspective too, so it's not all Thomas Frank's fault why I've landed on why I didn't think Thomas Frank is a good choice for Spurs. I've eased up from that stance simply because Mohamed Kudus. Nothing more, nothing less. But every time he speaks in front of a mic, it pulls my mask down just a little bit, because everything he says in these press conferences and his introductory video, that 9-minute piece of trash I tried to go through, you know how many times he said hopefully, you know how many times he said, and for me, I feel like I'm bad and bougie now. I made it out the slums. I got shown what it's like to eat at Benihana's. And now Frank's coming back talking about, oh, don't worry, baby, I'll take you to Burger King and McDonald's. And it's like, I've had Benihana's. Maybe we'll make it to Benihana's one day. But today we're going to McDonald's. And it's like, okay. And it's like, so what about the greatest achievement you can have here? And his rebuttal, his answer to that in the press conference is, I was brought here to elevate the levels of everyone. And once I've done that, then that's when we start playing better, and then maybe we can win something. And I don't like fucking maybes in a game in which I was already given a guarantee. And that guarantee was, I always win things in my fucking second season, mate. Shrimps on the barbie. You know what I mean? Little kangarooskies. And I thought he was a liar. I said, you're not going to fucking come to Tottenham and win in your second year. And he did. And it's like, okay, so I'm a liar. And then Thomas Frank comes in and I say, okay, I'm going to believe you. What are you saying? Let me operate off of the words that come out of your mouth and the words that come out of the club's mouth. And all I've heard since then is, we want to win the Premier League. We want to win the Champions League. We want to compete on all four. Not we want, like the first two were from Levy, but from Thomas Frank directly, all he said is, we just want to be relevant. And that's just not good enough. That's Tottenham of fucking 12 years ago, in my opinion. And I just hope Thomas Frank continues to prove me wrong, because Kudus, with his interview, has already put a poo-poo stain on my words, which is that Thomas Frank is trash can Tommy. That's why I haven't really called him Trailer Park Tommy or Methadone Tom no more. I haven't called him Trailer Trash or nothing no more, because literally a player that I've admired and desired us to sign for years verbatim said that he wants to play for Thomas Frank. So that, you know, I take a step back at that point, because I know Kudus knows better than me, some fucking dude in Texas. You know, the guy who's going to be training and learning and trying to be a better player under him. So I'm not as like anti-Frank as I used to be, but I am definitely not. There's nothing that has occurred outside of Mohamed Kudus that has made me like, oh yeah. I mean, Luka Vuskovic was exciting to watch in that first match, but it's just little farts, no big poops, and I need that big poo poo. And it's just little farts. Need that. I guess that's the best. Did I explain that well, Paul? Do you think?
Yeah. I think what sort of comes down. I sort of agree with some of what you're saying there. Like, if Thomas Frank can actually improve, look, I think, and I heard this criticism of Ange, not from any twat on YouTube, but from someone who knows a lot more about football than me. He said he wasn't convinced that Ange actually improved any of the players. Like, he gave them that spirit, that fight, that determination. But as for their actual play, I mean, we could all look back at the season, and there were times where we were fucking terrible, or people would make stupid fuck ups. So if Frank can take that winner's mentality that Ange got into them and technically improve just a few of the players, then I think we could be a lot better. But that's the thing. If Frank doesn't
well, if he
do
hits
that,
at 100% rate with Brentford, what do you think his rate is an acceptable rate to be? Because every player that Brentford fucking signed is all of a sudden like the best thing since sliced bread. So my thought is, if he hits at 100% with them, surely, but don't call me Shirley, he should be in and around the same percentages with us, right?
Sorry, when you say 100%, what you mean? He's improved 100% of the players?
Yeah.
At Brentford? Who's
And
saying
that's why I've
true.
raised, I'm saying it. And that's why I've said that I view it as like, it's not all him, and he is a big part of it, but it's like, how much is nature versus nurture, right? How much of these people were inevitably going to become that good because they're that motherfucker? And how many of them were going to be average but became good or great because of him? Some of that's nature, some of that's nurture. I don't know what the balance is. I don't think anyone's going to be able to answer that until we see the players that do or don't improve here, because it's a higher level that he's starting off rip with these players.
But maybe a way to sort of dig down on that would be like I reckon what you're saying about the nurture nature thing is true. If you're taking in like a young player, 18 or 19, and they improve, then well, who's to say they wouldn't have anyway? But I don't know if Frank has bought like a 23 or 24-year-old and then made them a lot better. I think that would show a different story. But that's the thing it comes down to for me. I think if Frank can improve, make our players better, then I think it's good. But if we start, 6 games into the season and I'm still seeing, the same shit that I saw at the beginning of last season in the league, where I'm looking at the players thinking, what the fuck are you guys doing? You're gonna get my enge sacked. It's the same shit. So I don't know how you fix that, man, apart from buying better players, but we ain't doing that. So that's Frank's. That's going to be the only way Frank can succeed. Can he take our players and improve them? That's it. There's nothing about style of play, tactics, and all that horse shit that people like to be clever after a match is finished. They look back on it and say, "Well,
it's only because they didn't listen to me and sign that Monster 6 that this service I pay for spitted out this data that said that he's the Monster 6, and if you would have listened to me." Bitch, I'm a monster.
I've looked at a computer and some numbers, and this is what I say all the time because I don't really fucking understand football because I've got no soul. Just look into my eyes, they're pits, voids.
I heard if you talk fast like a Ben Shapiro-esque voice, people are just automatically going to think you're smart because you didn't stutter or slur. You're like, guys, I think that contextually looking at the analytical data provided by the clubs standing on a 5-year amortization, we can look at these contracts. Shut the fuck up. Go kick this goddamn ball.
It's like a spell with lots of words, and people just go, "Oh, must be smart."
Big up Sean BJ. You can't spell Bjayland without BJ. That's what I'm going to say. But big up, good to see you, Arsenal fan. Talk a little shit in the chat. I love to see it because, as you know, everyone's welcome here. Just not human pieces of shit. That's it. That's the basic human requirement here. Don't matter who you support. We all bleed the same blood. And, but Paul, I think that's going to do it. I'm getting a little tired, so I think it's time for me to chill out on my Saturday night. I'm going to finish watching some UFC, aka some sweaty man on sweaty man violence. It occurred very early today. I'll tell you what, people who are like real enjoyers of the sport of fighting, like the multi-mixed arts or whatever, martial militia arts, whatever, they're like super into it. Me, it's been one constant in the fucking I've literally watched it since Chuck Liddell. I heard who he was. And it's because he punched people in the face and they went to sleep. And it was like, that's badass. And since then, I'm just like, kick him, knock him out. And they're like, start wrestling on the floor. I'm like, God damn it. And when it's on play, I can just skip through it. I'm like, when do they stand up again? Cause when you put your left leg into your right leg and you twist and it's like, oh, cool. You're in a reverse inverted Kimura Flipdora, it's like, that's cool. I'm like, I just like it better if y'all punch each other in the face right now. And
yeah,
and
I reckon with UFC fans, I reckon I don't know if you're in it for the technique. You just want to see blood, so just chuck a couple of spiked clubs into the ring. Just cut out the middle, man. There you go.
I say just put sandpaper on the knuckles of their gloves. Just that alone will, because you don't want to puncture the fighters. You want them to fight again. I don't want it to be like too brutal. I'll be honest. There's one time that I get really uncomfortable when the girls are punching each other really hard because I'm like, girls, stop fighting. I'm right here. But it is a little bit like there was one time, I don't remember her name, something Shevchechek. Her fucking head was swollen like, you know, that thing that they say Yakub, the creator of the white race, that funny conspiracy of, well, who knows if it's true, you know? I can't say that I know because I wasn't alive then, but it's like the scientist Yakub who created the white race that is the downfall of society, et cetera, et cetera. He's got that big ass head. She looked like that, and I ain't even playing, and it's because she got punched so much in the head, but she just wouldn't give up. And that's the thing. It's like when you're getting your ass whooped, they talk about how, look at the heart on that one. It's like, they're about to die. Someone stop this.
They're being
Look
really
at the
stupid.
heart. They're still defending themselves and swinging back. That's real heart. That's real. Anyway, big up Paul, the Hotspur Hippie. You can find the link in the description of this video, or you could just hit in the search bar Hotspur Hippie, and you'll fucking find it. And I will find you. But Paul, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Take it easy. Take it cool, man. Thanks for having me.
I'm gonna. Nope, not gonna. That's too AEO. I was gonna do the reverse and say I'm gonna take it hard and take it hot, but that's fucking AEO. And it's AEO if I've ever said. I'm sorry.
Why?
I don't know.
If I want to blow, I'll fucking blow. You understand me?
You understand me, Paul? All right. But just remember, folks, if you can't smell what Tommy's doing, then you just ain't been touched by the tom-tom. And once Tommy gets to touching, none of us will be the same after. Stay blessed, stay fresh, up the lads. Be kind to yourself and be kind to someone else today. Or if you don't want to do those last two bits, this video's for you. Like and subscribe, or don't.
Little bit quiet. Fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself. Everybody. Fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself. Fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself. Fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
For me support. She leave the house, won't hit my line like she ain't got a report. I'm chasing the money, stacking the honey, rapping in the sport. I don't know if she realize we standing in divorce court. We getting a divorce, ayy. This was the last resort. We getting a divorce, ayy. This was the last resort. I'm chasing the money, stacking the honey, rapping in the sport. I don't know if she realize we standing in divorce court. No, I'ma just leave it like that. That's just how I feel.
All right, Mr. Wade.
That's just how I feel. I'm chasing the money, stacking the honey, rapping in the sport. I don't know if she realize we standing in divorce court. I never stop doing my music. Yeah, you know, I do my thing, you know, I'm trying to put my name out there the best way I can, but at the same time, I take care of my responsibilities first, do what a man gotta do.
Mrs. Wade, you gotta stop being frightened. Either you can trust him or you can't trust him. You can't watch him 24/7. If he's your husband, you gotta trust him like he's your husband until he does something to show that he is not deserving of that trust, and he has yet to do that.